talk to you about your car when you were here because you have that patch on your drain pan that we were not going to touch.
No, you told me there was a patch on the drain pan. I informed you that that is not a patch.
We don't need your permission to suck the oil out of redoing the oil change. You actually get more oil out of sucking it out of the dipstick tube than you do out of pulling the drain pan.
You should have informed me if that was what you were going to do. I do not like the way that you're treating me about this and basically accusing me of overfilling my own oil.
I'm not accusing you of anything. There's no proof that we overfilled your oil.
I'm telling you.
I'll go ahead and refund your oil change.
Okay.
And I'm also going to make a note not to service your car at any location or to OEPA.
All right, and I would still like to...
There is no proof. There is no proof we did anything wrong. So I'll go ahead right now and...
Yeah, but your customer called you to tell you that the oil was overfilled, and you immediately...
Our customer would have called immediately.
Immediately.
They would not have went 3,000 miles because they would have been concerned. You did not call.
That's what I'm saying. You're accusing me of lying to you about this. That's what I'm telling you.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I just pulled up the invoice from the other store. There is no note that your car was overfull in oil. You stated that you did not drain any oil out of your
Correct.
vehicle, correct?
That is what I stated.
So that oil is not just going to disappear unless you have that excessive oil leaks. You're accusing us of overfilling your oil when there's no proof we did because you didn't call us 800 miles.
Yeah, and obviously you're accusing me of lying. Obviously you're accusing me of lying. So just admit that.
What I'm saying is there is no proof, is what I am saying.
But even with no proof, if I tell you it's overfilled, then if you're not accusing me of lying, you say, oh, it was overfilled. Well, if it was, well, it's...
Well, there's 2 locations in Port Orchard.
You're at the southern one.
Yeah, you went to the other one.
Are you at the one that's further south?
What's that?
Are you at the one that's further south?
I'm the one at the Fred Meyer parking lot.
Is that the one that's further south? That's the one that's how I would identify it.
No, you went to the other location.
Let me pull this up really quick. What happened that day is that I went to the first location, which is the farther north one, closer to downtown. And I was told when I got there that they would not do the oil change because they didn't have 10W30. And they sent me to the other one, and they told me that the other one would definitely have 10W30, but obviously they didn't either. And then, but the other one, once I got there, they were willing to do the oil change with 5W30. I don't really care at all about the weight of the oil. I understand that both will work with my car. So you said, what was the address?
The address where my store is at?
Yeah.
It's 5057 Bethel Road.
Got it.
And the last time you were at my store was July 23rd.
Correct. That's the date I was calling about.
But you've been to another location since then.
Yes, I have.
Top off then.
No, not for top off. I've had an oil change since then at a different location.
Well, there's also a record on the 23rd that you were at another store for a top off.
That may be what they put the record in for. I went to another store. They didn't do anything other than tell me to come to your store.
Okay.
The issue that I have is that I believe I'd have to look up the name of the machine. I believe that a machine that was used to siphon the oil out of the dipstick tube was used rather than draining the oil. Nobody told me that that would happen. But I believe that's what happened. If you have video from that day, I'd really like to get that to confirm whether or not that's true. And then the oil was significantly overfilled. Nobody showed me the oil level before I left. I didn't think to ask for it either. But probably 700 to 800 miles out from getting the oil change, I checked my oil and it was way over the line at that time.
So why didn't you contact us then?
I should have contacted you then. I don't know why I didn't contact you then. Maybe it's because I was busy driving from Washington State to Michigan, and was outside your business hours when I discovered it. I don't really know or remember why I didn't contact you then. But I was certainly far enough away that it wouldn't have mattered anyway because I was like around Boise, Idaho area at the time that I realized, or actually past it, probably Twin Falls. Correct. I did not have any oil drained out.
So I'm going to pull up the invoice and with other forms to report that.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I'm pulling up the invoice from your last oil change, the one you just had.
Yes, the one that I had in California at a Jiffy Lube.
So my opinion is that you had no contact with us until now.
Mm-hmm.
Which you could add oil to the car. There's no proof that we did anything wrong.
So you're accusing me of adding oil to my own car in order to overfill it?
No, there's no proof. You did not call a Jiffy Lube or any of us. You already let us know when you had this problem, but yet you went 3,000 miles between an oil change.
That's the normal amount of mileage to go between an oil change, yes.
But if your car was over full, wouldn't you have got that problem addressed? Wouldn't you have called us right away?
Like I said, I'd already driven 800 miles on it. It was outside of business hours, and I was quite far from you at the time. So no, I did not immediately make it my priority to call you.
You never had that problem, and you never had that problem addressed.
Correct. Because at that point, I figured I'd already driven 800 miles on it. It's already burned or used some oil at this point. The problem's only getting better at this point on its own. What am I going to do? I've just driven 800 miles on an overfilled oil. Right? How's calling you make that better? So yes, I probably should have gotten it drained at that time, but that's not the issue I called about. I didn't call about the fact that I failed to get it drained when I realized 800 miles later that had happened. I'm calling about the issue that happened. And like I said, I was not told, and I did not provide permission for the oil to be siphoned.
We talked to you about your car when you were here because you have that patch on your drain pan that we were not going to touch.
You told me there was a patch on the drain pan. I informed you that is not a patch.
We don't need your permission to suck the oil out of redo an oil change. You actually get more oil out of sucking it out of the dipstick tube than you do out of pulling the drain pan.
You should have informed me if that was what you were going to do. Nobody informed me. I was under the impression...
You were there and saw it during getting done. If you had questions then, you should have asked then.
No, I did not realize that's what you were doing. I didn't realize that's what the machine was for. And I had explained to you that what you thought was a patch was a heater. And I thought we were all good and going to proceed as normal. And I expressed that's what I wanted that's what I wanted. So then somebody went ahead and did it.
You wouldn't have done the oil change then.
Well,
and there's no note, and there's not even a note on the new oil change that you got saying that your oil's over full.
It wasn't over full 3,000 miles later. It was over full 800 miles later.
No. Yeah, your car would have still been over full unless you have excessive oil leaks.
The car does leak oil 3,000 miles later, and it by the way leaks oil.
There's no proof that your car is over full. I'm looking at the invoice that you just got from the other place.
Mm-hmm. They overfilled it too, by the way.
Your oil was over full.
They overfilled it as well, by the way. And my car does leak oil significantly worse than it previously did, by the way.
Then we would have told you to take it to one of our locations immediately to have the vehicle inspected. Instead, you chose to go 3,000 miles.
But even if I took it to a location, they could have said, oh, well, you waited 800 miles. How do we know they overfilled it? There's no proof, right?
No, they would not have. They would have drained the oil and redone the oil change.
I'm sure they would have drained the oil. That would have been nice.
And they would have redone the oil change at their cost or our cost.
That would have been nice as well. And I probably,
You should have called.
I probably should have called. I agree with you about that, but it doesn't mean that the oil wasn't overfilled. What you keep saying, there's no proof it was
There's
overfilled.
no proof. There's no proof. This other Jiffy Lube would have stated if the oil change with the oil.
So the only person you would trust is another Jiffy Lube. You wouldn't trust me just calling you and telling you this happened.
We
Right.
would have told you to take it somewhere to have it looked at immediately.
I get what you would have done. Yes. So, okay, I will take that.
You didn't do that.
I will take the refund. I'm still telling you I would like the video from that day, and I would
There
like.
is no video.
Okay.
Our cameras do not record.
Okay.
For over,
Good to know.
we're having issues with our cameras, but it
Okay.
wouldn't make a difference because it would show us sucking your oil out of your car.
Good to know. Thank
With
you.
OEP.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yep, I will refund that here in a couple minutes. You'll see it within 24 to 72 hours.
All right. I would like to. Who can I call or get a call from at a higher level?
I will talk to my district manager. I'll explain the situation to him and see if he would like to call you.
Actually, tell him I would like him to call me, please.
Well, that's what I'll say, but it's also up to him. But there's, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
And bye.